Yo, what's going on, party people? Welcome to a brand new week and welcome to a brand new edition of what we like to call the Clash of the Champions. I'm your host, the vegan you believe in, Conscious Kurt, aka the Professor in the Flesh as always, and my co host needs no introduction, but fuck it, he is going to give y'all one anyway.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is his tag team partner, Jonathan Randall, at your guys' service, the adventurer himself. And welcome to our wrestling show, our little soap opera that we like to discuss about and just share the news all around the wrestling world to you guys. Kurt, how you been? What's been new?
Just been pretty well, man. Just been upgrading my life, enjoying this great wrestling and also great NBA playoffs we've been having the last few weeks. And actually, I've been writing a lot of disses towards asshole celebrities, which has been a lot of fun. I'm sure you saw what I posted
I've
yesterday.
been seeing that.
You saw it yesterday. I posted the shit out of Diddy, who definitely had it coming. I also dissed his ex girlfriend J Lo, who's had it coming for a long time too, and it felt damn good to let them both have it.
So is it really true that J-Lo and Ben are getting a divorce?
Probably, but that's like not even the main reason why I dissed her. Like even when I lived in Vegas, I would hear like not the best things about
Oh,
her. About
yeah. We all have. I mean, it's nothing new. Yeah, I mean, if you're hearing from, not just you, but if you're hearing from everybody else is saying of how like negative of a person they are, 9 times out of 10 is going to be true.
Yeah, I've heard multiple times, like even when she was with Ben Affleck the first time, where like he tipped the room service people $100, and then she called the front desk to ask for it back. Like I've heard multiple different stories of like her
Mm,
doing shit like that, like where she'll take the tip away from somebody after somebody else tipped, and not to mention like all the failed marriages, failed relationships, and even Jamie Foxx and Tommy Davidson have gone on to say that like after they worked together with her on In Living Color and they were cool with her, when they ran into her a few years later after she blew up, when they tried to say hi to her and like try to catch up with her, like she barely would even acknowledge them. Like she kind of like acted like she was like too important to
wow.
talk to them.
Oh no. Not cool. Not cool.
Yeah, Tommy Davidson even talked about that
Wow.
on Club Shay Shay.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's why I said somebody like that deserves to get dissed. I don't care if she's attractive. I don't care if you like some of her songs like 25 years ago. I just say, regardless of what race you are, what gender you are, regardless of whether you're famous or not, if you're that much of an asshole and that much of a horrible person, your ass deserves to get dissed by Conscious Kurt. And that's just going to be happening a lot. And that's just
Oh
going to be
wow.
happening a lot over these next few weeks.
Wow, watch out, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm coming for you, motherfuckers.
Bro, just like freaking Kendrick. Oh my god.
With the Diddy thing, especially, it went without saying. I do admit I used to be a big fan of Diddy, like when I was younger,
Mm.
like especially like in those '97 Bad Boy days, like right after Biggie died. Yeah, I was really a huge P Diddy fan, and Mace, the whole Bad Boy crew. Yeah, they were very influential in my early years of being a hip hop head. Yeah, and pretty much most of the music we've grown up to, P Diddy could be credited for.
Right. I agree too, man. And they had it was funny because they had just came. They had I remember they had released an album. That was like after Biggie had passed away. It was No Way Out, right?
Yeah, P Diddy was pretty much one of the biggest rap stars in the world, like during that period.
Man,
He wasn't the best rapper per se or by any stretch, but just as a performer and as an artist, he was huge. Like I remember, like that summer of '97 specifically, like when I went to that SummerSlam in New Jersey, the biggest artists and like biggest and like the main songs getting played nonstop during that summer were fucking Bad Boy songs, like More Money, More Problems, I'll Be Missing You, All About the Benjamins. Yeah, those songs were being played
man.
nonstop, nonstop.
It's kind of it's just is sad how like we adore celebrities and when years later something comes up, they do something horrible, and you're just like, man, all these years I've looked up to this person, and it's like now they turn they just went look, they just went to the dark side, and it's really sad to hear that and to see that because we all saw the video of what happened. This happened in March of 2016, and here it is, it's 2024, and now the video has been released. This was in a hotel, and I was absolutely shocked to see that, man. And look, like we all heard the stories about what was going on, but to to see the video itself, I think that was, I don't know, man. I think that done it for everybody.
Yeah, I think the part that bothered me the most was the part where they show him like dragging her at the end of it, like dragging her by her hair. So it like really gives you
Yeah,
the mystery of like, what the fuck else did he do beyond that?
right.
Yeah, so that's why I'm really happy I dissed his punk ass too. Yeah, what a disgrace. And what was even a bigger disgrace was that candy ass apology that he gave, talking about, I'm going to therapy. I was fucked up. God, please forgive me.
No
I'm
excuse for it.
sorry. Fuck out of my face.
No excuse for it.
Yeah, what a
None.
chump.
None.
But yeah, it's good happening to all of like the people we grew up like fans of and grew up idolizing. It feels like no genre and like no space is safe for that anymore. Whether it's wrestling, whether it's movies, whether it's music, whatever art form or whatever you enjoy, yeah, like everybody has some kind of dirt on them, and more of it is getting
Yeah.
exposed by the day.
Oh man. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, so today this is our prediction show, and before we get into that, we have the King and Queen event coming up this Saturday, May 25th, ladies and gentlemen, in Saudi Arabia, and you can watch it on Peacock. But before we get into that, we do, stuff has happened leading up to our premium live event, and we have a lot of other wrestling news. And Kurt, let's go around the world. Let's hit it.
Well, we've had the King and Queen of the Ring tournament progress since the last time we talked to you guys 2 weeks ago. And last Friday on SmackDown, it really got heated up in matches involving Bianca Belair and Tiffany Stratton, which was a solid match. And according to reports from coming out earlier that day, it looks like Bianca Belair worked that match with Tiffany Stratton being pregnant.
Being what?
I don't know if you saw, but there was this big thing that blew up earlier that day where Montez Ford changed the status of his Instagram instead of father of two to father of three. And that combined with the fact that Bianca Belair was like pulled from a house show made everybody speculate that Bianca was pregnant.
Oh my God.
But obviously, it turned out not to be true to the point where, like, even Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins were like joking around on Instagram about it. Where, like, I think Angelo Dawkins posted a picture of Bianca and Montez saying, "This is what happens when you don't pull out." But whatever, it is what it is. Yeah, it was this whole thing that kind of like stretched throughout the day. But obviously, she's not pregnant since she worked the match. Bianca picked up the win, but she did sell like kind of a knee injury during the match, so it's looking like it's going to play in more to the tournament as it progresses. And one person who did not advance further in the Queen's tournament was her tag team partner Jade Cargill, as she was wrestling Nia Jax. Nia Jax actually got into it with Jade Cargill's daughter, where she told Jade Cargill's daughter to her face, "Your mom sucks." And that caused Jade Cargill to lose her temper and go off on Nia Jax to the point where she hit her with a chair and got disqualified.
Wow. Man.
Yeah, that I'm not gonna lie, that line when Nia told Jade's daughter, like, "Yo, your mom sucks," yo, that shit was pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie.
Hey man, just he'll work. Yeah, so in the result of that, so Nia Jax is moving to the semifinals to face Bianca Belair this upcoming Friday on SmackDown.
And also this coming Friday on SmackDown, we're gonna have the semifinal match between Randy Orton and Tama Tonga.
Mm.
So both of those matches should be interesting. But from what happened on Monday on Raw, I think I have a feeling of how those two matches are going to play out. So let's move on to what happened on Raw as we had the matches that further along the tournament to decide from Raw who would be going to the finals. Lyra Valkyria defeat Io Sky in a very solid match to advance to the finals. So she'll face the winner of Bianca and Nia Jax. And also in the main event of Raw, we had Gunther knock off Jey Uso. So Gunther's going to go to the final to take on the winner of Randy Orton and Tama Tonga. But from those winners, I think it's safe to say that the people who are going to advance on Friday on SmackDown are going to be Nia Jax and Randy Orton.
Really? You really have Nia Jax winning that match?
Yeah, I do. I think Nia Jax, with the streak she's going on right now, I think she's going to go straight to the finals.
Okay.
And
I
she
have
could.
no problem with that. I have no problem with that. I'm just, a part of me felt like I think Bianca will do it though, but I have no problem.
Bianca's already the tag team champion. She doesn't really need it, honestly, right now. So yeah, I
Yeah,
don't think it's gonna be her.
I feel you. Can I? There's one thing that I saw on SmackDown. I think was it last week. The Bloodline was backstage, and I don't know what the hell was going on, but Tama Tonga was like was pacing back and forth in the locker room, just making these weird noises. I was like, dude, what the hell is he doing? Do you saw that?
I did hear that a lot of people were making fun of that. Yeah, that was a little
Yeah.
strange.
I wish we had some audio for that, but it was just like,
And
what the
also, what's been strange, is that Solo Sikoa has been saying he's been speaking to Roman Reigns since WrestleMania, unlike Paul Heyman, and saying that everything that's been going down lately has been by orders of Roman Reigns.
what?
But I think we can all agree that that's probably bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know what's worse, that or the fact that Solo Sikoa was dressing like the Weekend last week.
Hey, yo, it's that panty wedding music, bro. He's got a wife to satisfy.
Oh God, I've never of a series of a character that Solo Sikoa is. I've never imagined that he would, because he usually doesn't dress like that. He's usually just, in his regular, t-shirt and his wrestling gear. But like this is the first time he's actually wearing, clothes and during a promo. That's like, okay, like this is kind of like a like a new step that he's taking, and he is, because he's pretty much you could say like he's like the substitute teacher of the bloodline until the real teacher Roman shows up.
Yeah, honestly, Solo with this new gear now like looks like a villain from Miami Vice. That's the vibe I'm getting from
Oh
him.
God.
Yeah, so with this whole bloodline thing going on, I think with Randy Orton and Tama Tonga, it's gonna be like maybe a disqualification or something, and then I'll let Randy Orton advance.
Yeah, I definitely see Randy Orton advancing because, I mean, look, when you do these kind of tournaments, I mean, we never seen a heel versus heel in the final. So it's appropriate that you do have Gunther versus Randy Orton. And I will give my prediction about that later as we move on towards the show. But as of right now, yeah, I definitely have Randy Orton defeating Tama Tonga on Monday.
Since we're already talking about it, let's get into our predictions for King and Queen of the Ring real fast. It's coming up this Saturday, and this will be the first official King slash Queen of the Ring official pay per view since 2002.
Wow. They were supposed to do it. Was he supposed to do it last year or something like that? Or
Yes, they were supposed to do it last year, but for whatever reason, it got dropped. So now they're doing it this year. First time in 22 years.
nice, nice.
Yes, but let's hope and pray that this King and Queen of the Ring show turns out 10 times better than that 2002 show did. Because damn, that show was bad. Damn, that show was bad.
Oh man. Probably I think the one you probably would go back to, like, I don't know, like, do you have a particular favorite King of the Ring pay-per-view?
Oh, of course. Actually, I'm glad you bring that up. My favorite King of the Ring pay per view is the very first one, 1993.
Really? Okay.
That's a solid ass show. It's pretty much the Bret Hart show, but all of Bret Hart's matches are great, especially the match with
Mm,
Mr. Perfect.
okay.
And then you have the title change of Yokozuna beating Hogan. The match isn't great, but seeing Yoko win the title and squash Hogan, and pretty much it being like Hogan's like last televised WWE match for a decade, it has that significance to it. And the crushing Shawn Michaels IC title match, I remember being good on that show too.
Okay.
Yeah, but the Bret Hart matches are the shit to watch in that show, hands down.
Okay. Maybe I need to rewatch that one. I think the last one sat down and watched was 94. I believe it's been a while though, but
Not 94 has its moments, like the Bret and Diesel match is good.
I just mainly wanted to watch that because of Owen. Owen winning, becoming the King of the Ring. So that was, like good film moment
And the
for him. You know what
way
I mean? So
and the way he does it too, the way they pull it off was just so brilliant. Where Anvil was in Bret's corner for the match with Diesel, and then he gets Bret
mm,
disqualified, so Bret keeps the title. But then he leaves literally right after, and then he leaves Bret Hart to get beat up by Diesel and Shawn afterwards. And then he comes out for Owen's match with Razor, and then helps Owen win the King of the Ring. And then like just seeing that, it all made sense. And they'll save the title for Owen to be the one to beat Bret.
wow.
Yeah, and Owens' coronation is by far the best King of the Ring coronation has ever been.
Really?
Hell yeah, it's you. I mean, you're mad that he won, but that coronation was just perfect, especially for his character at the time. Yo, that was the icing on the cake. Owen never got to be
Mm,
WWE champion. He never got to that level, but this is definitely the closest thing to it. Was this?
I bet. Wow.
I thought you were gonna say your favorite King of the Ring pay per view was 1995.
What the hell? I never even watched 95. Come on now. You know how I feel. We all feel
I
about that
did.
year. Jesus,
I watched
man.
it live the night it happened. That was actually the first one I ever watched live, as a matter of fact.
I refuse. Like there's certain I think the only pay-per-view that I would sit down and watch is Survivor Series. And um yeah, man, I would never no, I gotta ask myself the same question. Like, do I have a favorite King of the Ring pay-per-view? Those shows are like a hit and miss.
Yeah, they are. They really are. Like other than '93, the only other real solid like show from start to finish I can think of is probably '96.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, '96 was pretty good. Yeah, '96 had some solid shit on there with Austin winning the King of the Ring in the Austin 316 speech. The Undertaker and Mankind match where Mankind beats him. That was a huge surprise.
Mm.
And then Ahmed Johnson winning the Intercontinental title, being the first black wrestler to do it. I mean, say what you want about Ahmed Johnson now, but on that night, it was a big deal. That shit was
I don't know, man.
cool
This
to
is
see.
those pay per views been hit and miss. They usually like majority of those pay per views is where like you have like a couple of memorable matches though, but overall the show is kind of like it's eh. You know what I mean?
Yeah, even '98, even the '98 King of the Ring with the Undertaker and Mankind Hell in a Cell. Like, besides that, the main event and I guess the King of the Ring final, the rest of that show is like not anything to
It was just a
watch.
sleeper. Yeah, it was pretty much
Yeah.
like of a sleeper. And then same thing. 99 was just
Oh, '99 is
it
horrible.
was yeah
'99 is
99 wasn't really
horrible.
yeah. And then 2000. I mean 2000. I mean I could sit through that,
Oh,
but I think the main event was just it was weird,
it was very weird.
very weird. That's I mean, okay, I mean positive about that event. I mean, Kurt Angle winning the King of the Ring was cool, but and in 2001 that was a weird one, and yeah, man, they yeah.
Actually, getting back to 2000 real fast, the 2000 King of the Ring actually has the worst match of the year winner on that show.
I know what it is.
What is it? What is it?
It's the hardcore evening gown match, isn't it?
Oh my god, I cannot believe they actually did that shit. I cannot believe they actually
Oh my
did that shit
god,
on
it
the
was the
TV.
funniest thing I've ever seen.
Bro,
Who's
no,
the
it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
It's the no, to me it was the funniest thing. The commentator, like, dude, even JR and King were like, "What the hell is this, dude?" Look, God rest Pat Patterson's soul, but like, I'll give him credit for actually going out there and embodying it and just putting the effort. Even before the match, he wanted to like look better and be better than Gerald Briscoe, and he like I had to look petite, I gotta look better. I was like, what the hell? It was like, the dude comes out there, he's wearing a full like gown, he's wearing the shades, he's literally just like it was funny, but yeah, it was just looking back at it, man. It was just like, bro, really?
Yeah, it
Oh
was
man.
Vince McMahon humor for you guys, ladies and gentlemen, but that's another story. Yeah, but
Right.
'01 did have that great match with Shane and Kurt Angle, although they both
It
really
did,
paid the price
but
for it.
yeah, but just overall, it was one of those pay per views. I was like, you could just tell the vibe of the business was just so different. It was just like, nah, I'm not feeling it.
Yeah, it was definitely a noticeable decline compared to 2000. Yeah, I like the vibe. Even if 2000 wasn't the best King of the Ring show, the vibe was a lot better compared to '01. I'll definitely give you that.
Yeah,
And then '02, I went into a few minutes ago. That was just not a good show, with the exception of the RVD and Jericho match at the beginning of the show. And Angle tapping out Hogan was a big deal. That kind of was a surprise. But other than
I
that,
kind of
yeah,
forgot about that. I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah, but that show was bad. That was probably the worst show that year. And then they stopped it after that. And they just like brought it
Mm,
back, like randomly on Raw and SmackDown for the years since then. And I would
yeah.
say since then, the only real good King we've had is King Booker.
Yeah, I agree, bro. You need look. If I'm gonna give you, we had a lot of King of the Rings over the years. Okay, if I had to give you like, I don't know, top three best King of the Rings, I'll put Owen Hart's one of them, King Booker, and then Stone Cold, because I'm looking at, I'm not just looking at how they embodied the whole King character. I'm thinking about how winning that excelled them, in the future. That's how I see it. That was like the whole point of having that tournament. It was kind of like, oh, if you win the tournament, this is like, this is kind of like your coronation of, oh, like bigger things are going to happen in your career. So that's how I saw it. Same thing. Like you could say what you want about, about 2002, how about, it was a bad show and all that. But I think one of the things that I like about that one is how, like, the first time they had, oh, you win the King of the Ring, but also you get a title shot at SummerSlam. I was like, oh, that's like, whoa, that's the
Yeah, that
first.
was the first.
Oh, like,
That was the first
oh,
time.
okay, interesting.
That was the first time they made it an actual stipulation because it had happened before where like the King of the Ring winner would get the title shot at SummerSlam, but that's the first time they made it an actual like prize where you knew you were getting it ahead of time.
Right. So and I put Lesnar as one as a good one because like you saw the streak that he was on, and he wins the King of the Ring, and what happened about a couple months later, and then Austin, and then the famous catchphrase, and the rest was history. And then I think about Owen that whole year. When I think about '94, the first person I come to my mind is Owen Hart. Like, you had that, oh my god, that diamond in the rough, that jewel match he had at WrestleMania 10 against his brother Brett, and then you win the King of the Ring, and then you have a title shot, the rematch against Brett at SummerSlam, and just that whole year he just had just a very dominant year in '94. And also, Booker T, King Booker, like when he won the King of the Ring, it's because of that. And then they made him champion a month late, about was a month later. And then the
2 months,
whole
yeah, give or
character,
take.
yeah, like the whole character, he just went all in that character, dude. Like, he did a damn good job of that character, man. And it was funny at times, and it was just like, I look back at it, it was kind of one of those characters I kind of like took for granted just a tad bit, just a little bit. You know what I mean? But it was pure comedy.
Yeah, because I had stopped watching around that time, but I would like sporadically go back and watch here and there, and I would notice the
Yeah,
Booker character. And I'll admit, I didn't care
yeah,
for it back then, but now it's really grown on me. Like now, I really get a kick out of it.
right. Oh man, it was hilarious. And then he even made Batista laugh during a promo one time, and I was like, dude, like
That's what Vince could
Booker,
have.
like, he
That's
was,
that's what Vince could have had like in '88. Like if he wanted to mimic Coming to America as opposed to a King the African Dream, he could have had King Booker and Charmel.
oh god.
Yeah, but that's another story. Yeah, I liked King Booker. And as far as people who did the King gimmick, I know he didn't like win the King of the Ring tournament officially, but Macho Man really captured it well when he was Macho King.
Yeah, yeah, he did. He did. He really bodied that gimmick. He did a really good job with that one. That's I forgot about that.
Yeah, one of my favorite things
Um,
to watch. One of my favorite things to watch from SummerSlam '90 is when Sean Mooney's trying to interview him, and he has to like stand on this little stool to get up close enough to the
oh
throne to talk
god.
to Macho Man,
Oh my god. Wow. That's
and
that's
people are
funny.
carrying him to the
I
ring.
right. I think when I look back, and I think a miss that they missed on, if this is just me how I felt, I think when I look back at '98, they should have had The Rock to win that King of the Ring tournament. I get it. They were like, because of Ken Shamrock. Ken Shamrock was hot. Like, look, Ken Shamrock was very great in the ring, and they were trying to build him as, like, as a great, like, the next guy. But he just didn't have it yet. He didn't really had it, especially like on the mic. I think they should have gave that to The Rock, if I'm being quite honest, because that would have been, imagine like that 3 straight years you had Austin and then Triple H and then The Rock, 3 consecutive years you have like these are like the phases of the Attitude Era. They won King of the Ring. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I thought that was like a miss.
yeah, I get it. I understand, but I guess because Rock was already Intercontinental Champion at the time, he didn't really need it. And in all honesty, in
I
retrospect, he still didn't need it because he still went on to win the title later that year.
Yeah, still, but it would have been cool though. But I get why they put it on Ken Shamrock because like like you know what I mean. But it was like looking back at it, you're kind of like, man, if I would have did it differently, I would have had The Rock to win it. You know what I
Maybe
mean?
they could have flipped it. Maybe they could have flipped it and
But
had Ken Shamrock beat The Rock for the IC title at WrestleMania, but then The Rock beats him to win the King of the Ring.
true, yeah.
Maybe.
Because you got to remember they had that sham of a weird finish, that disqualification at the Royal Rumble earlier. Remember?
Yeah, because they did that at Royal Rumble, and then they get all the way to
Yeah.
WrestleMania just to do another one of those finishes.
Yeah, it was like another. I was like, dude, a disqualification again? Like the hell?
But I guess maybe they felt The Rock was so hot at the time they didn't want to take the title off of him, but they also didn't want to
Mm,
beat Shamrock. So I guess maybe that was their way out of it. Whatever it is,
yeah,
what it is. And admittedly, yes, Ken Shamrock was one of the more disappointing King of the Rings. Although he had a solid 98 with winning that tournament and then winning the IC title later on that year, that run as King wasn't really strong as some of the other ones. Like Austin went on to be a big star. Also, Triple H went on to be a big star.
yeah.
And then
Mm.
obviously Owen Hart we talked about. Also, Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle really did well with his King of the Ring.
Oh yeah. How? Yes, very well. Yes. How could I forget about that? I think he's one of my favorites too because like that whole he dominated that whole entire year, dude.
2000, he was one of the
Like
MVPs of that year, hands down.
hell yeah, absolutely. And then Edge. I, this was you got to remember that year that was they're kind of like okay, let's see him as a singles competitor. You know what I
And
mean?
it's funny.
And
It's funny. I heard Edge say actually before that they were gonna split him and Christian up like a lot sooner that year than they did. They were gonna split them up like
mm,
literally right after WrestleMania, but because of the whole invasion thing, they actually held off on it until later on.
oh okay. I mean, I know it took a while, but to get there, but it was that year when you knew that okay, Edge is kind of like stepping out on his own into that single competitor, and then I think the rest of the King of the Rings, especially moving like like during this modern era. I mean, let's see, Sheamus won. They had one in 2010, right?
Yeah, Sheamus, that one was trash
Sheamus
from what
won
I
that
heard.
one.
Yeah, I heard that one was
Oh, okay.
trash. Yeah, like the whole
Yeah.
King Sheamus shit was like some like King Sheamus like looked like a character from like the McDonald's Happy Meal crew.
Oh, God. I think after, like around that time they didn't really take that whole thing serious because they just put random people just to win it. It's like, okay, how are you going to elevate them in the future? Like, okay, like they had William Regal win King of the Ring in '08, and I thought that was like, okay, what is he going to be doing in the
Actually,
future?
actually, I heard his King of the Ring was supposed to like lead to bigger things for him, but literally right after he won it, he got suspended for drugs for 60 days. So that kind of like
Oh,
cooled off his momentum.
right. Okay, I see what you mean.
I wasn't watching at the time, but I've
I
like gone
I
back and like
I mean,
looked
I
about it.
remember because I watched that match. I remember because it was him and CM Punk in the final, and shockingly, I was like, "William Regal won the King of the Ring." I was like, "Oh, okay." So we had William Regal, we had Sheamus. Who else did?
Wade Barrett won it
Man,
one year. King Barrett.
Wade Barrett
Yeah,
won. Yeah, yeah.
that's. I think I'll
Okay,
put that in my bottom three for King of the Rings. I think the three worst ones ever were Sheamus, Wade Barrett, and also Mabel. Yeah, those are the three worst ones.
honestly, it was like the worst one for me. I put it a little bit above Mabel. No offense to this guy, but Billy Gunn.
Oh shit! I almost forgot about Billy Gunn. Yeah, he wasn't great either.
Yeah, like I get it. I get it. They were experimenting. They always do that, right? they were trying to experiment and see like, okay, how will this guy do as a singles competitor? But it wasn't clicking. You just knew there's a certain superstars you see where look, they're better as a tag team versus as a singles competitor, and sometimes that's okay. That's okay, and not all experiments go right, and it is what it is. But it was weird, kind of like, wow, Billy Gunn won the King of the Ring that year. I was like, oh, and it didn't excel him in the future because it was just weird. Like he didn't really do anything after. I mean, look, he had the feud with The Rock. That was like the only thing. Yeah, that match with The Rock at SummerSlam, and then after that, like he didn't really do much after that. And they put him back as a tag team.
Yeah, literally, like within 3 months of winning King of the Ring, he was already back to teaming up with Road Dogg again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was no good. But as far as performances in the tournament, the best one is by far Bret Hart. He had 3 matches, 3 different styles of matches, but 3 incredible matches. And just the story they told throughout that tournament of him like being banged up and being injured as the tournament went on, but he still fights, he still pushes on. And then for him to eventually win against Bam Bam Bigelow, like the biggest dude of them all in the finals. And that match was also grueling and also could have gone either way. Yeah, that story they told that night with Bret Hart in that tournament was perfect.
Hey, why do you think I love tournaments? Because it tells a very deep story about one person. How much are you willing to sacrifice and put yourself through to win the whole thing? That's the story.
Yeah, that was the one year where it worked best. As far as like telling that story throughout the tournament, that was the year it worked best.
I love tournaments. I don't care what it is. You're gonna be remembered for when you win the whole thing, whether it's that or if it's like for a championship, like when Randy Savage won the title at WrestleMania 4. The fact that you went through numerous of people just to get to the finals and win the championship or whatever it is a story. It's like
And wore 4 different robes too.
right. I would forget about that. Right. Yeah, I mean, because you are kind of sweaty and you gotta. Yeah, that is true.
Him and Elizabeth wore 4 different outfits.
That's true. Yeah. Oh my god. That's like going to 4 different restaurants. That's like going to 4 different restaurants in one day. Like, oh, okay, yeah, I wore this for. Oh, you're going to another one? Okay, I can't wear this for other restaurants. I'm gonna wear this one.
I guess Liz felt like she had to compete with Vanna White that night, so yeah, she had to go all out.
Oh my god. But yeah, I love tournaments, man. And it's just a shame that they're having the final instead of having. I wish they could have just did. They could do like both semifinal and the final, all in one. But we gotta remember what Triple H says: it's quantity over quality.
It's quality over quantity, and I do agree with him. I feel like it's better to have like just 5 or 6 matches on a show and everything on the show stand out and be good to great, as opposed to like loading it up and getting as much on there as possible, but not as much stands out.
Right. And again, Kurt, what time does the King and Queen of the Ring event starts on Saturday?
1:00 in the afternoon, my time, 10:00 in the morning, your time.
Good God, 10. Woo! Well, it's not that bad. I usually wake up at that time, so. Oh.
Yeah, I wake up early. I usually wake up at 7, but I'm going to be working that day, so I have to wait till after work to watch the show. But looking forward to it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, first time in 22 years they're doing the King and Queen of the Ring actual pay-per-view or PLE, whatever they call it nowadays. But let's get into our predictions. So
I'm really looking deep into this match card. I'm really like, oh, this is a pretty decent card that we have here.
Yes, let's break down that card really fast. So in the finals for the King of the Ring tournament, we have Gunther taking on the winner of Randy Orton and Tama Tonga from SmackDown Friday, which I believe more than likely will be Randy Orton. So in that case, it'll be Randy Orton versus Gunther in the finals. Who do you have to be this year's king?
I'm picking Gunther, the Ring General, to become king, and he will be this year's King of the Ring. I think his loss at WrestleMania, losing the Intercontinental title, it will be redeemed when he becomes king because he's just a damn good heel and he's on a hot streak and get that momentum back and win the King of the Ring. No offense to Randy Orton, but I think Orton's going to get himself ambushed by the Bloodline.
Yeah, that's possible.
I think they're going to get involved, and that's probably going to cost them the match, and Gunther's going to win. So, yes, I have Gunther winning this match.
I do have Gunther becoming the king of the ring also. I feel like he's doing a Kurt Angle 2000 where he lost the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania, but he bounced back by winning the King of the Ring. So I see him doing
Yeah.
that as well. I think him and Randy Orton should be a
Uh,
great match. It'll be the first time we ever see the two of them ever go against each other. So yes, I am definitely looking forward to seeing the two of these gentlemen beat the shit out of each other. And Gunther, I think, will be crowned the king and headed for a possible title shot later this year.
I love to see it. I love it.
So in the finals of the Queen of the Ring tournament, we're gonna have Lyra Valkyra taking on the winner of Bianca Belair and Nia Jax from SmackDown this coming Friday, which I believe more than likely is going to be Nia Jax. So we will have Nia Jax, if that's the case, against Lyra Valkyra in the finals. Mr. John Randall, who do you have becoming Queen of the Ring for 2024?
You know what? Lately, I think in the history of the King, King of the Ring, tournament history, usually the heels win a lot. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
Yeah, and I think that trend will continue because we're gonna have two heels to win that night. Gunther's gonna win, and Nia Jax is gonna win.
Yeah, I could see it happening. I could see Nia Jax becoming the queen. I feel like she's had enough momentum since she's come back where it would make sense for her to be queen of the ring. I think it's a good idea.
That will be a very good title on her, man,
Yeah.
to be proud of. So yeah, I would love to see her to win it.
Yeah, she's had a good run since she's come back. I've been really impressed with her work in these last few months. And yeah, I fucks with her being queen of the ring. I like it. Yeah, so we'll have Nia Jax becoming queen of the ring. It's going to be interesting to see how she runs with the gimmick, if she, plays it into her character or not.
Oh
But
yeah,
I have no problem with that.
me neither. I think she will do well with the character. We'll see what's going to happen with that. Now, this match, ladies and gentlemen, oh boy, I think this is the match that I'm actually really looking forward to. And it's for the World's Women's Championship. That is between Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan. Oh my God, it is a lot's been going on over the past couple of weeks between these two, especially with Liv Morgan. Man, it's just she's been getting a lot of heat on herself. You know, with Rhea Ripley and then Dominic and Becky. It's just this, oh my God, just a lot, man. But I love it, and this is good for her. And she's now finally in a title match against Becky Lynch. I really want to see Liv Morgan win this match, man. A feud with Rhea Ripley when she comes back.
And with that being said, I think she will win.
Yes, yes.
I think Liv Morgan finds a way to cheat or do something underhanded to get the advantage, and she's going to beat Becky that way and win the title.
Yes.
And I think this will be a far better title reign for her than her first title reign was.
I agree. Especially, yeah, because she's a heel now. And the fact that what she's been doing.
And she has a better dance partner with Becky as opposed to, when she was working with Ronda at the time.
Right. Right. This is going to work out. And look, we know when Rhea Ripley's supposed to come back. What's the timetable? Like she's supposed to come back during the summer, hopefully during
Maybe.
SummerSlam. So this is
Maybe.
perfect.
There's no guarantees.
I know, but like they said 3 months, but like potentially, hopefully, they could happen. But it's the perfect timing to do it.
Yeah, it's the perfect timing for Liv Morgan to win.
Especially what's been going on, dude. Especially what's been going on. Like, look, this is how it all started. She injures Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley has to relinquish the title because of what happened. Liv Morgan is like, well, wait a minute, why are you still talking about this chick when, you know, you know what I mean? And then she's starting to, put her attentions on Dominic Mysterio, and then, and it's just like, oh my God, what the hell's going on? And, Rhea Ripley's looking at this from the outside, like, yo, what the F is this, right? So it's just a piece by piece. Like, I hurt Rhea Ripley. I took the title from her. Now I'm going to take the title from Becky Lynch, and it's just all part of the plan, man. So it's perfect timing to do it. Now's the time.
Yes, and I believe it will happen this Saturday. Liv Morgan will dethrone Becky Lynch. And it makes sense this way. I remember you were upset initially that she didn't win the title in the Battle Royal last month. But her actually beating Becky for the belt on a big show like this, yo, it's even better.
Yes,
All work out.
I agree.
And also, Liv Morgan is now newly single, too.
Really?
Yeah, her and Bo Dallas apparently broke up.
Oh no.
Yeah, but anybody looking to date her, she has said that she is not looking right now.
Uh, well, I know. I mean, you want to, take a break, but
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, especially considering that they've probably been together for a long time and lived together. After a breakup, especially a breakup where the relationship was that long, you need some time to heal. You do not need to be rushing back into dating.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
So Liv Morgan will be able to heal from that breakup by winning the women's world title and having a great run with it over these next few months.
Make it happen, ladies and gentlemen. It will be a great match. I know that for sure, though. But I can't wait. And another good match with a lot of good build up is this next upcoming match. It is a triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship, and that is between Sami Zayn, Chad Gable, and Bronson Reed.
I think I know how this one ends.
Chad Gable has realigned himself with his old tag team partner Otis.
And he's been really letting him and the Alpha Academy have it over these last few weeks, like really talking shit to them. I think he even told Maxine Dupree that she was like Taylor Unswift or some shit like that. He said that about her. And
What?
then I
Wow.
think he got so mad at Otis where he just went into his face and said, "What did the five fingers say to the face? Slap." And then he just slaps him in the face.
What? Wow.
Otis, and then he was getting on Otis's case about like not helping him in his match with Sami Zayn on Raw Monday, to the point where Otis eventually did interfere and clothesline Sami Zayn against the turnbuckle and help Chad Gable win. So that's probably going to play into the
Mhm.
outcome of the match, I think. But I feel like this match includes Bronson Reed, so that Bronson Reed could be the person to take the pinfall by Sami Zayn, which means I think Sami Zayn will retain. But Chad Gable will eventually win the IC title, but just not here and not in a triple threat match.
Maybe at SummerSlam, right?
Probably before that, maybe on like maybe Raw in the next few weeks. Maybe they'll do like it is like a main event match on Raw, or maybe Money in the Bank.
Hmm.
Money in the Bank is a possibility.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one's coming up in Toronto, correct?
Yes, Toronto.
Right, right, okay.
I don't think Drake's making a cameo this year though.
Oh please, my God, come on. When Kendrick's did one of his diss songs is number one on the Billboard in your own city, that's sad. I said that before. There's no way. Come on. And you have people like invading your house. Come on now. Oh my God, I can't even. That's another story. I can't even go any further. But I do agree with your prediction. Though. I think that is like the right choice to do. You take Bronson Reed to take the fall in this match, so you could pretty much continue the feud between Sami Zayn and Chad Gable. So yeah.
And I have to say, Chad Gable's really doing well in this new role, this new heel role,
Mm.
where he's like bitching out Alpha Academy and always cheating and being a douche. Yeah, he's really pulling it off well. It's to the point where people are chanting "You suck" to his theme music, kind of like how they used to do for Kurt Angle.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's been killing this role, but I don't think he wins the IC title this Saturday, but he will win it very soon.
Got you. You said douche earlier, so in douchebag. And speaking of douchebags, this match
Yes.
was actually this the main event, ladies and gentlemen. This one was kind of like I wasn't expecting this one though, but hey, I have confidence in this man, and he's always
Yeah.
performed well in all of his matches. So I thought it was like a weird pairing, though, but it is what it is. I believe it will be a decent match, and this
Yes.
match will be for the undisputed WWE title. That is between the champion Cody Rhodes and what Kurt likes to call him, the douchebag fuck, Logan Paul, the United States champion. Now, this match was originally supposed to have both titles on the line, correct?
Yes, initially it kind of felt that way, but the douchebag fuck Logan Paul was up to his antics again as of the contract signing this past Friday on SmackDown. He had a new contract drawn up by his douchebag fuck of a lawyer. Like looking like one of the dudes who defended Henry Hill back in 1980. That's what that dude looked like.
God, I've seen so many contract signings over the years. I've never ever seen anybody. Oh, you know what? With my lawyers, we ran up our own contract. I've never seen anything like that. It was very creative. That was
Yeah.
funny. Come on, you had to admit it was a good segment. Come on now,
Yeah, it was. It
that
was
was very creative.
yes, it was very creative douchebag fuckery by Logan Paul. And yes, he drew up a contract where only the WWE title would be on the line and not his United States title.
Genius, genius. He's not really going to lose anything. He may lose the match, but it's like, hey, I'm not losing my title. That is genius. You knew. Come on now, that is genius. Now that come on, I think anybody in their right mind would have been like, if they were in that position a long time ago, right, years ago, they would have been like, damn, why did I didn't think about that,
Bro,
But that
this
is
country
genius, though. Come on.
this country can't catch a break for shit. First we have Trump and Biden as our presidential candidates, and now we have Logan
Oh
Paul
Lord.
as our United States champion. Like, what the fuck is this country coming to, man? This shit is like very depressing.
Oh man, I kind of not to
I need to
not to get sidetracked or anything like that though, but a part of me kind of like forget that shit. We have an election later this year. I kind of forgot about that.
Yes. And speaking of which,
And it's probably because my mind's been focused on other things, and I'm thinking about just random stuff. Yeah, I kind of forgot about that, man.
good. It's good. It's bullshit anyway. It's a fucking joke.
Cannot believe we're having the same two um
And
nominees for
bro,
this
and bro,
election, man. The same thing, dude. What?
and they're the next on my diss list. Like the disses I did to Diddy and J Lo, Biden and Trump are next, coming out later this week.
Oh boy. Be on the lookout, ladies and gentlemen. But back to our prediction for this match. But yeah, I love the segment. I thought it was funny. It's very creative. And when you really think about it, it's really like I'm not losing anything. Like, look, Cody Rhodes is going to win the match, obviously, right? Is it going to be a good match? Yeah, because I have confidence in Logan Paul. We've all seen his matches. He had a lot of great matches, right? I've not seen not one bad match from him, right? But again, he really is not really losing anything when you really think about it, because like, look, he'll lose the match, but look, I'm still going to keep my US title. Versus where if both titles were on the line, and yeah, you're losing a lot. You're losing a lot. So yeah, I thought it was just perfect heel work and very kind of like manipulative of him to do that. Like, oh, I'm gonna get my own contract, and you know what I mean. I thought that was like, wow. But anyway, yeah, I have Cody Rhodes retaining, so very obvious.
Yes, goes without saying, Cody will retain. I think the match will be fun. If that match that Cody had with AJ Styles at Backlash is any
Oh my
indication, I
god,
think
that
that
match was amazing.
got 5 stars from the Wrestling Observer. One of the very few WWE matches to get that.
Absolutely amazing. Your first title defense, and that was, oh my god.
Yeah, so I'm expecting nothing less from this match. It kind of feels thrown together, to be honest with you. It kind of feels like a match they like just put together because it's the Saudi show, and since Logan Paul's a big
Yeah,
name, it's like a
yeah,
thing that'll make the Saudi people happy or whatever. But whatever, I'm not going to complain about a Cody versus Logan Paul match. It doesn't have much of a story, admittedly, but I think it'll still deliver in the end, and that's all that
yeah.
matters.
I agree.
Or that's
I
what
agree.
matters most. That's what matters
Yeah.
most.
So yeah, so that is
Um,
our predictions for this show. And if you have any other predictions, feel free to, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to like comment on our social media pages, please. Follow us on our Instagram page on at the Champs Clash on Instagram, and on Twitter as well. We post things on Twitter as well. Follow us on Twitter at the Champs Clash, or Twitter, or X. I still call it Twitter though, but yes, follow us, man. If you have your own predictions, feel free to comment on it, man. We need all the support we need on our social media. So yeah, that's our prediction for this King and Queen of the Ring. Again, is this Saturday on Peacock. 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern, ladies and gentlemen. It's funny how we were recently talking about, Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles in Backlash, France, right? And this next topic is something that I really want to dive into because this was very interesting. I mentioned this to you earlier, Kurt. So there's a rumor flying around that potentially maybe that they'll bring back the European title. And me, honestly, I think that will be a great idea. And here's why is because, look, the European title is nowhere near the prestige as the Intercontinental title. I felt it was just like a random title. You know what I mean? But they should bring it back because, like, you look recently at the success and the attention that the business has been getting when they go overseas, when they have a show in Europe mainly. You go back to Backlash France, you go to Money in the Bank in London last year, right? Even Clash at the Castle in Wales, that's Europe, right? Just the energy in the crowd, the attention is just off the charts. So I think it will be a right idea. Just bring the European title back. I think it'll be great.
I guess it would be cool. I don't know how it would really fit or how much attention it would really get. Because if they weren't really giving it that much attention, like during the Attitude Era when it was around back then, I don't know how much better off it would be like in this era, to be honest with you.
I mean, it works better because it, like I said, the reason why I said it is because of the attention that it's been getting from that continent alone when they have shows there. That's why.
I get it.
If it wasn't, I would have been like, you know what? Nah, just, I mean, for nostalgic purposes, I get it, but like, no, we don't need it. But because of what's been going on, especially in France, in a Backlash France, Kurt, yeah, that's why they were kind of like, okay, maybe we should bring this title back because like Europe, they look, they love their wrestling, man. It's been like that for years, even like, before I was born, dude. Like people in Europe, especially England, they love the wrestling, man. They love it. That's why do you think they brought
Yes, they
SummerSlam to
do.
London? You know what I mean? So I think it's right to have the European title to bring it back. And who was the person who brought it? Who was the person who brought it? The British Bulldog. So I think they should.
Yeah, it's possible. Well, who knows? Only time will tell. But I heard they are going to bring in a secondary title for the women sooner or later.
Really,
If they do bring another title in, I think that would be a better use of their time as opposed to a European title reboot.
I wouldn't mind it, honestly. Honestly, I mean, I never had a issue with it. I just knew it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't compared to a Intercontinental title though, but it was just nice to see just another championship. I thought it was cool. I like the design of the belt. I love the name, but I'm down to bring it back. I'm down for them to bring it back if they do. So we'll see what happens from there. So
Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But we do have, in addition to King and Queen of the Ring this weekend on Saturday, we have AEW Double or Nothing on Sunday in your neck of the woods of Las Vegas at the MGM Grand. And this weekend will be the 5-year anniversary of the original Double or Nothing when AEW pretty much first started.
wow, can't believe it's been 5 years. It's been that long.
Yeah, I was still living in Vegas at the time. That was 1 week after I
Wow.
graduated. That was like the first real AEW show, like the real start of AEW. And like the thing that stood out most to me on that show was that great Cody and Dustin Rhodes match where they hugged at the end. And yeah, it was great.
Hmm.
It was the match they should have had at WrestleMania 31, but I'm glad at least they got to have it there.
Hmm. I heard that they will most likely have their Raw and SmackDown events at the MGM Grand instead of the Sphere next year during WrestleMania week.
Oh, that's all good. MGM Grand's a cool spot.
Yeah.
Ironically enough, MGM Grand is the same arena where I went to go see the Bad Boy reunion concert in 2016.
Oh, 2016? Oh, no.
Yes. Oh shit. The same time frame as the Cassie
Yeah.
shit. Yep, same
Yeah.
year. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember they came out with a documentary going behind the scenes of that tour on Netflix a few years ago.
Mm.
Yep, I hope people like cherish that tour as it was going on, like the fans of it at least, because yeah, that shit will never ever come back.
Yeah, whatever memories you have, I hope they probably recorded it on your phones or whatever, man. But yeah.
Yeah, but that's another story. So let's get into Double or Nothing. One match I'm actually really looking forward to is the Willow Nightingale and Mercedes Moné TBS Championship match. Because it's been 1 year pretty much to the day since Mercedes Moné's injury that caused her to not be able to wrestle up until now. And the person that she was wrestling in that match was Willow Nightingale. So it's all coming full circle.
Wow.
This is gonna be Mercedes' like literally first match in 1 year at her
Mm.
AEW debut. And Willow Nightingale's had some great momentum. She's been killing it like the last, I would say, year or so. From that match with Mercedes last year, where she won the New Japan title, to winning the Owen Hart Cup, to now being the TBS champion. She's also a great promo too. In addition to being great in the ring, she's also a great promo,
Wow.
which was shown in a great contract signing segment she had with Mercedes last week, which ended with her power bombing Mercedes through the table, which is a great spot, man. I loved it. But from that contract signing, it's clear who the villain is and who the babyface is. So yeah, I don't think anybody in their right mind is going to be cheering Mercedes over Willow Nightingale. Willow Nightingale is too likable, and Mercedes Monet as a character is too unlikable.
That's a good point.
Yeah, definitely. So I feel like the roles are well defined now, which is going to make for a great match and a great story on Sunday. But I do think since this is Mercedes' AEW match debut and she's making a lot of money for being in AEW, she is not debuting in AEW with a loss, so she wins.
Okay.
Going to be a great match, though. It's probably the match I'm looking forward to most.
Got you.
And then also for the AEW Championship, we have in his first major title defense, Swerve Strickland defending against the man you don't want to be around if you have a troubled relationship with your dad, Christian Cage.
Oh man, the segments between them has been have been very good, and but Sir Strickland just became the champion, the first African American AEW champion. So you got to have him to retain, dude. Keep that momentum sailing.
Yeah, definitely. He just won it last month. And honestly, this match isn't going to main event the pay per view more than likely. So yeah, Christian is just somebody for him to work with in the meantime. And that's going to lead to him retaining his title. No surprise.
Mm.
But I think the match will still be good.
Yeah, I agree.
And in the main event, we had Anarchy at the Arena for the third year in a row. Shit's gonna be crazy.
Oh, I bet.
It's gonna be Team AEW against Team Elite.
Mm.
So the Young Bucks and Jack Perry, they're like pretty much running roughshod through the company ever since they attacked Tony Khan a month ago. So like they're like the heel authority figures now, kind of like Triple H and Stephanie were back in the day. So like yeah, they're kind of like taking over the show and like throwing their weight around. So like now certain people in AEW are standing up to them, and now it's gonna culminate at Anarchy at the Arena.
Mm.
And one person who was supposed to be in the match for Team AEW who's no longer going to be a part of it is Eddie Kingston, who actually tore his ACL during a match in Japan very recently.
Oh man, I heard about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's going to be
Oh
out
man,
for a long
sucks.
time. And his replacement is going to be Darby Allin, who just like broke his ankle 2 months ago when he was about to leave to climb Mount Everest, which won't be happening anytime soon anymore. And also, he just got hit by a bus literally a month ago where he broke his nose.
Yeah, I remember you were telling me that, man. That's whew.
Yeah, so now he's gonna be in Anarchy at the Arena. I don't know how the fuck that's gonna work, but we'll see.
Wow. See how that turns out.
Yeah, but I feel like since like they just started this storyline with the heel elite, like them being the heel authority figures and all that, I think they're gonna win this match. I think they're gonna pull it off.
Got you.
Makes sense. Like this is the main story they're building on AEW now. Like this is their main focus, their main storyline. And who knows, maybe they'll be getting a lot more attention and maybe more money in their next TV rights deal, despite their declining ratings recently, because of the fact that it looks like the NBA is moving to NBC.
You know, if we want to gain something, we have to. make a big sacrifice because of that. Look, every basketball fan, young and old, they love the NBA on NBC. The theme song, just everything about it was just perfect, right? But because of that, NBA is no longer going to be available on TNT. So this upcoming season will be their last year. Will it be on TNT? Which means we're never no more inside the NBA on TNT. And look, outside of that, like, dude, like, Shaq and Charles Barkley and the rest of them, dude, they just, my God, they've been such a great, tandem, on that show on TNT, dude. Like, I just like watching the NBA on TNT just hit differently, man. And I just can't believe it's just hearing about it and talking about it. It's just sad, though.
The NBA has been on TNT since 1989.
Damn.
1989, bro, the year of the Hogan and Savage feud, Batman, the Bad Boy Pistons winning the NBA title. Yeah, that's how far back this shit goes.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I love the NBA on NBC theme song. It's great, but I don't think it's worth the sacrifice. I don't think it's worth it to make this move personally.
I mean, they could have. I don't know, man. If I'm being quite honest with you, like, I would rather switch. If I were to take something out, I would rather take NBA away from the ABC, ESPN, and put it on NBC though. But like, you can't do that because ESPN, they're under Disney. They have all that money, and how are you gonna, you know what I mean? So, oh man, it sucks. Oh,
Yeah, and I heard that they're not even gonna get the rights to the finals. Yeah, the finals games are still gonna come on ABC.
what?
Yeah, that's what I was hearing about. Yeah, that
Wow,
ABC still retains the rights to the
wow,
finals.
wow.
Ah, is what it is.
I know.
Is
All I gotta say is that this upcoming season, just enjoy every moment of it. Like, whenever there's a game on TNT, just watch it for that.
That's why Shaq and Kenny were joking around the other night talking about how they were going to be on LinkedIn and Indeed when they woke up the next morning.
Oh God.
It is what it is. But in other AEW news, they're going to be moving their All Out show to September the 7th as opposed to September 1st. So instead of having it like exactly 1 week after All In, it's going to be 2 weeks after.
Hmm.
Makes sense because having pay per views on back to back weekends, yeah, that's too much. Yeah, it's overkill.
You know what's funny that you bring that up about pay-per-views being on certain days, because with the WWE and TKO merger, right? Um, they're most likely gonna put the WWE preview live events back on Sundays.
Yes, like if it's the same weekend of as like a UFC fight or something, then yeah, they're gonna
Yeah,
be moving it to Sundays for that weekend.
I think it's smart. You don't want to overlap each other. You don't want to. I think that's smart.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Honestly, I kind of miss Sunday pay per view sometimes. I mean, the Saturday thing is fine and all, but honestly, yeah, I do miss the Sunday vibe.
I do.
But yeah, definitely moving all out a week later is a smart idea. I feel like moving it even 2 weeks later after that would be an even better idea. Because I
Yeah.
feel like even having pay per views like 2 weeks within each other is still too much, but
Yeah.
it's a lot better than having it 1 week within each other. That's yeah, way
Oh yeah.
overkill.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Survivor Series 91 and Tuesday in Texas. Yeah, that shit is not a good look.
Oh, right. Oh man.
Yeah, it is what it is, though. But one person who hasn't been on AEW television recently is Ricky Starks. And people were kind of thinking that he was injured, that there was maybe something wrong with him, but he just opened up recently saying that he's good, he's fine, but they just haven't been using him for whatever reason.
Hmm. That's weird.
It could be the fact that maybe he made it clear that he's not going to re-sign with AEW when his contract's up. So I guess maybe instead of putting him on TV and promoting him, they're just keeping him off TV until his contract's up. And if that's their strategy now and they're doing this now, it's a possibility that his contract's probably up a lot sooner than later.
I feel you.
Just a possibility. I mean, I don't know this for sure, but I mean, considering that they're not putting him on TV and he's fine and he can go, that could be a part of it. But I do think Ricky Starks is definitely WWE bound because I know how tight him and Cody are. And I feel like somebody like him, he would fit in well there. I think he would be a great addition to WWE. Like MJF, I feel like it could go either way, whether or not he goes there. I think somebody like Ricky Starks was definitely going to go there.
Okay.
Yeah, he was with Cody at WrestleMania. He was there with him at WrestleMania.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, so we'll see what's up and what happens with that. And one person who could end up being in AEW soon is Natalya, as her contract is actually up in a few weeks, and apparently she's going to test out the free agent market.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, that would be crazy if she really ends up leaving and going somewhere else. Yeah, that would really be strange.
It would.
I don't think she will. I feel like she'll probably resign and maybe take a different deal, maybe not wrestle as much because her husband still works there as a producer. TJ, he's still there. Also, all of her friends are there and all that jazz. She's been there for like over 15, 16 years, give or take. So yeah, I don't think she's going anywhere. I mean, she could go to AEW and maybe work with Mercedes and work with Saraya one more time or something, but I feel like she should probably stay.
We'll see. We'll see what will happen with that. Anything can happen when it comes to contract disputes. So
Yeah, even Becky Lynch's contract is actually up soon too, and she still hasn't re-signed. That's strange. I'm sure she'll re-sign too. I don't see her going anywhere either, but anything is possible. That's one thing I've learned about wrestling specifically in these last 2 years. Anything is possible.
that is true.
I know you're looking forward to this coming Tuesday's edition of NXT as the woman of your dreams, Sexy Red, is.
Oh Lord, please don't get me started on that hood. No, get this, Jesus. I, I'm over here reading the comments and I'm like, she's a wrestling fan. What's the big deal? Like, I don't give a damn. I don't like her music. I just, you said the same
Look,
thing.
I'm not
Like,
I'm not a fan either.
generation of female rappers are just like it rubs me off the wrong way. Like, what the hell are you saying? You know what I mean? It's just like,
Look, I'm not a fan either. I said that on the show a few weeks ago. Her, among a lot of the other modern female rappers, I don't fuck with their content and a lot of the shit that they promote. But bro, she's mad famous. She's mad popular. Why would they not put her on the show?
I don't care.
You don't have to watch. Do you even watch NXT anyway?
No, and I'm glad I'm not. I'm definitely not going to tune into that shit.
She can give you the red light special, bro.
Ew. My girlfriend will kill her.
Did you ever watch In Living Color with that, like, that woman character that Jamie Foxx played? That with like Jamie Foxx.
Wanda.
Yeah, I feel like you have the feeling for Sexy Red that
I would rather,
have for her.
Kurt. I would
For him.
rather be with Wanda than be with her.
Whoa, damn, bro. She's that unattractive.
Yeah, damn is right. Yeah,
She's
yep.
that bad. Is it her personality? Is it her looks? Or is it all of it?
It's all of it. She just looks nasty. She's just like her personality is just like no, and her music is just like I hate it. I don't know how people like that stuff, man.
Watch her get Shawn Michaels to dance to Rich Baby Daddy with her.
Jesus.
Bent that ass over. Let that coochie breathe.
Stop. I can't believe you of all people are singing that.
It's a fun song, yo. It's a fun party song.
No.
You don't even like Scissor's part on it? Scissor's the best part.
Kurt, no.
You hate the whole song just because she's on it. I mean, the only part of her on the song I don't like is the verse.
I don't even like the song. I don't even like the song, Kurt. And if you knew me well, I dance to other genres, not
I
just
know,
hip-hop.
but it's just like a fun club song. Like it's a fun song, like to jam to at a party. Like if I were at a party, they play that song, I would be like, "Yo, this is a good vibe."
Nah.
Okay.
Not for, Not for me. Sorry. Each their own. Apples and oranges. Nope. Not for me.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Yeah,
Just
she was
I
talking about wanting to RKO someone, maybe Ice Spice.
what? Jeez, even Ice Spice too. I'm just like, Jesus. Like
Yeah, I,
I've said this before. Like, stop trying to because the men are rapping about this and rapping about that. Oh, I got to do it too, just to get the attention. Like, no, you don't. If I would trust me, if I found a female rapper, right, that was kind of like similar to Queen Latifah or Eve, right, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna follow you because you're being real, you're just being yourself. You know what I mean? That's what I like.
yeah, that's the thing. Even back then, like back in the '90s, you had like rappers, you had female rappers like Lil Kim and Foxy Brown who like dressed a lot sexier, like and like dressed with less clothing in many cases. But you had a balance. You had a balance with them and the ones like Queen Latifah, Salt and Pepper, MC Light, Missy Elliott. There was diversity. All of them were different. All of them brought their own thing to the table. But nowadays, it just feels like
Right,
all of them are the same. They're promoting the same shit, talking about the same shit,
right.
and just behaving the same and
It's
behaving in
annoying.
an obnoxious way. Exactly.
It's just annoying. I'm just like, I don't give it. Like, I'm just like, Jesus. And she even did a song off of a Shawn Michaels beat. I was like, dude, sue her ass now. Like, oh God, it was just it. I just want to just turn to the other cheek. Like, I don't listen to the radio. I just it's just so sad how this genre has just went just downhill. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever think that hip hop was gonna go downhill like this, man. It's like, dude, everybody's just same old crap, man, and not creative and not really putting their heart in it. Bro, when you have the veterans talking about how this generation's music is, that should tell you something. That's like, dude, you need to step your game up, like for real.
Bro, they don't care. They're getting paid. They're famous. All that other bullshit. They get to like live this lavish lifestyle. They could care less. Why do you think Soldier Boy didn't care when like Ice T said he single handedly killed hip hop? And why do you think like
Mm.
Soldier Boy acts like the troll that he does all the time? He doesn't care. He's getting paid. He's where he wants to be, whatever the fuck, all that good stuff. Yeah, they don't care if you don't think they're talented. They don't care if you don't think that they're down with the cause or like down with the culture. Yeah, they could care less.
Like, bro, like I listen to my 90s hip hop playlist more than anything, dude. Like I just Spotify's my best friend. So
Hey, bro, there's still good music to be found out there. There's even good female rappers to be found out there still. You just have to not look at the radio for all that
no,
bullshit.
I don't look on the radio. I never did. How do you think I discovered Larry June? I discovered him through Spotify because his name popped up and I saw his album cover and I listened to the song and I was already hooked. So like Larry June is like the only current like full time rapper who I'm like, yeah, I like this guy because he's real. His beats is just real, and it's like okay, I could vibe, definitely could vibe.
It's funny. I have the pretty much the modern female rappers as a whole on my diss list.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Hogan's on my diss list too. Also, Hogan's gonna get it. Michael Jordan's gonna get it too.
You said Mike Jordan?
Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan's gonna get this.
Why? Why?
He's an asshole.
What? Oh, I mean, yeah, I did hear little stories here and there though, but
Soldier Boy is also gonna get dissed. I feel like Soldier Boy deserves to get dissed.
hmm.
And also, after most recently watching the Fresh Prince episode where his dad walks out on him, I'm gonna do a diss to the deadbeat dads. I'm gonna call it Lou Smith. Yeah, do some shit like that. That's a great episode, by the
Yeah,
way. That's by far the best Fresh Prince of Bel Air episode probably I ever watched.
right.
Before we get out of here, Stone Cold Steve Austin has confirmed that he is officially retired from wrestling. That match we saw with him and Kevin Owens at WrestleMania 2 years ago will be the last time we see him in the ring wrestling.
I feel you. And look, he's because of his age and and look. I'm happy that we got to see that moment, that WrestleMania with Kevin Owens. That was just a feel good moment. It made that night one of WrestleMania 32. No, 38. Sorry. I want to get my numbers mixed up. Sorry. 38. 38. It made it very special, man.
Was
Very
very
special.
special.
Oh my God. It was just because we all thought, like, oh, this is it. Austin will never get in a ring. But no, like, what he did was just like, I couldn't ask for more. That was just perfect. I loved it. I loved how they went to, like, it was like a KO show, but they went into a match. I loved it, man. We never, oh, that was just so special, man. And look, I'm not mad at it. Like, when you're done, you're done, but so I'm glad that we got to saw that last moment. So
The only thing I'm bummed out about is that he didn't make that cameo in the Cody and Roman match to counter Rock. That would have been so perfect if
yeah,
he had
that
been a
would
part
have,
of that.
oh my God, that would have been, don't get me wrong, that whole match and what happened, just will be forever be talked about. But man, if Austin was there, oh my God.
Yeah, that was the only thing it was missing. That was the only thing missing. But damn, it would have been great had we got it.
It would have broke records and oh my God, like ooh.
Just for Austin to stun The Rock one last time, yeah, that would have been great. But whatever, it is what it is. It could still happen. It could still happen maybe next year.
Like make an appearance. Yeah, yeah. There's nothing wrong with making an appearance into that.
And speaking of The Rock, I actually saw the image from like this new movie he's working on now called The Smashing
Yeah.
Machine. Yeah, I barely
Hmm.
recognize him. Yo, yeah.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. I saw that too. I was like, wait a minute. I'm not gonna be real with you.
But
I thought it from a distance, is that Ken Shamrock? That's what
oh
it looked
shit.
like. Seriously, not in a bad way though. I'm being like not joking. Like I thought that was Ken Shamrock, but I had to look closely. That's The Rock. Hmm. But yeah, it. I gotta find out what that movie is about.
It's about a UFC fighter.
I'll
It's
be
about
interested to.
some UFC fighter.
Yeah, true though. But like, it's what's the main like story though? Like, yeah, you're a UFC fighter, but what? You know what I mean? Like, okay, I'll give you an example. Like, Cinderella Man, right? I consider that one of the greatest boxing films I've seen. That and Raging Bull, right? Cinderella
Oh
Man,
yeah.
that like okay, you're a fighter during the Great Depression, and like what's motivating you to fight? Well, you're fighting so you can provide for your family. That was like the whole story within the story of that film. You know what I mean? So this one, I'm just curious about, okay, what's his guy's motive? Okay, you're an MMA fighter, but like, is it the passion for it? Like, do you have like, is there like a backstory on your personal life? Like, what is it? And I'm gonna find that out. So it looks interesting. So
Yeah, the way The Rock looked in that one image I saw from it, it reminded me of what Robert De Niro looked like towards the end of Raging Bull, like with
oh
his face all
man,
fucked up. Yeah, that's exactly what it
oh,
reminded me of.
not just that, but with all the drugs he was on too, though, man. My God, I gotta watch that movie again. Oh,
Yeah, that image looks good, and it feels like The Rock is like kind of like challenging himself as opposed to like kind of playing the same role all the time. It
yeah,
seems like he's doing something different in this case, so I fucks with it. I look forward to seeing how it
me too.
turns out.
Me too.
I think we've said what we needed to say for tonight. I think it's a good time to wrap it up.
Yes.
Yeah, so enjoy King and Queen of the Ring this Saturday and also Double or Nothing this Sunday, as well as the rest of the NBA playoffs, which unfortunately my Knicks are no longer in.
Oh man, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I I'm so sorry, dude. I wanted the Knicks to win. It would have been so great for the NBA to see Knicks Celtics conference final. That would have been, oh my God. That's what the league wants. That's what TV wants. That's what the ratings want. That's what the fans want. That would have been like, oh my God, Knicks, Celtics, two cornerstone franchises in NBA going for it, and to determine who's going to go to the finals. That would have been perfect, but no, we didn't get to see that. I'm so sorry about your Knicks, man. Yeah, just I think it was a lot of injuries with you guys. I think when Brunson got hurt, that was the whole turning point of it. But there was like you guys had a lot of injuries too. Didn't you guys lose? Freaking Randall got hurt. Yeah, like early in the season, right? Middle of the season.
Yeah, Julius Randle got hurt, a few other people. And then in that game seven on Sunday, Jalen Brunson broke his hand.
Yeah, yeah. To see that was the whole turning point of
Yeah,
it, man.
yeah, that game already wasn't going well. Like in the first half, when like Indiana couldn't miss to save their lives, and we couldn't stop them to save our lives. And then once they said that Jalen Brunson wasn't coming back, and then he broke his left hand, I said, okay, it's over. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even if we had beaten Indiana, it would have been great, and it would have been great to like finally advance to the conference finals for the first time since 2000. But even if we had advanced, Boston was going to spank us because with all the injuries, even with Brunson being out pretty much because of his broken hand, we would have had no chance.
I understand.
But at the end of the day, we had a good season. We finished number 2 in the East. We had a good run in the playoffs, and it kind of feels like there's a newfound connection between the Knicks and like the New York fans now, and like the Garden feels like the more poppin' place to be again, like it hasn't been in years.
I think just the vibe in the Garden, during playoffs for a Knicks game is so unreal because it's good for the league, man. It's very good for the league. You kind of hate to see that team just in shambles for so many years. That's why I was really happy for you guys. But in the spirit of New York, I am pulling for the Rangers to win the Stanley Cup. So
I hear that, bro. You got to go to Madison Square Garden just once.
I do. I know. I know. I know. I want to. That is one of that is on my what's the word? I can't even think right now.
I passed by it so many
That's on
times.
bucket list. That
I've
is that is on my bucket list, and it's so funny how you mentioned it because yesterday I follow a lot of food people, food critics and everything. And this person lives in New York, and he was talking about the food in Madison Square Garden. I was like, oh my god, they have
bro,
cheesecake at Madison Square Garden. I was like, it's like what?
bro, you getting excited about arena food?
You damn right, because it's part of it. But then it gives me another reason. Hey, I gotta go. I really need to go. I want to go to the Garden just because it's the Garden. But it's like, dude, when
You can eat a hot dog anywhere, man.
bro, there's more than hot dogs. Get your head out of the clouds, bro. There's more than just hot dogs. People just don't.
I
I
want
don't
to
just
go
eat
to, but I will say, I do want to go to Truist Park
that's
out here in Atlanta for a Braves game because
God.
they have slutty vegan. Because they have slutty vegan there.
Jesus, that's like saying like, oh, like people go to a baseball game just to get hot dogs. Like, bro, like there's more than just hot dogs there. There's like nachos. There's like so much what you could eat over there, dude. Like, yeah, when I saw this dude was talking about, what they had at Guard, I was like, I was like, oh my God. I was like, okay. But like they even showed me like it was like a VIP room where they were serving food and they were serving sushi. I was like, whoa, like must have been, because the Garden has went through so many renovations over the years. You know what I mean? So like it looks super cool, and I never saw what it looked like, walking around. So that was pretty interesting. So yeah, like when I go to like a arena or like a stadium, yes, I am going to be critical. I'm very interested in what kind of food are you serving, man. I'm a foodie, so that's just me.
Okay, fair enough. I know one place you would definitely not care to have any of the food at or ever go to. Period. That's the
Where
arena where the Nuggets play. You won't have to worry about that since they are eliminated.
I don't even. I mean, you know what? No, 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 no. I will go there for a Colorado Avalanche game. That is the only team in Denver who I like. Okay, I respect you guys. Like, I don't like the Broncos. I for damn sure don't like the Nuggets though. But like the Colorado Avalanche is like the only team in Denver. I like. I respect those guys. Like, I love them. I was happy for them when they won the Stanley Cup a couple years ago because it was like what 21 years since they won it. So I was happy for them. But yeah, I think that the only time I'll go to any game in Denver will be for a Avalanche game.
Okay, cool. But I know you were happy the Nuggets got
Yeah.
eliminated. I know you took great
You damn
satisfaction.
right I was justice. Damn right. Justice was served, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
Justice.
you
That's
were as
right.
happy to see the Nuggets get eliminated as you were when Drew McIntyre lost the title at WrestleMania.
I can't even compare which one was the best.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I don't know. I can't pick. I can't pick which one was the best. My God. How as the mighty has fallen. Okay, they won the title last year, but yet they want to talk about the Lakers rent free, and then you go you fast forward a year later, and now you're just in your feelings. Mike Malone is talking about the Lakers are free, and then you're gonna just get a little chippy with the reporter. Oh, we were up by 20, and the season's over. And like, dude, you guys lost. Get over it. Don't get an attitude. That's your fault. You guys are up 3-2, up by 20 by halftime, and you still blew it. And look, and I'm gonna say this for the record: Anthony Edwards for the Minnesota Timberwolves, he is like the talk of the town when it comes to this playoffs. He is making the playoffs very special because of his play and just what he's doing. I love this guy now. I love him. And I'm predicting it will be Minnesota versus Boston in the finals.
Yeah, more than likely, I see that happening. Although Boston barely won last night, that was a close one.
Look, God, I don't even know how they managed. I don't even. I'm surprised they barely even won that game because they were losing at first, and it was literally like less than a minute left. And then I went to take a nap, and then I wake up, and then I found out they won in overtime. I'm like, bro, how
Yeah,
the
that's
fuck?
what
Like,
that's what
how?
happened with me. I saw like
What the
I saw
hell?
like in the third quarter that they were up. I'm like, yeah, they're probably gonna win this game. And then I left for a few minutes. I turned it off for a few minutes, and I put it back on and see what the score was. And all of a sudden, they were like down by 1 point with like 10 seconds left. I'm like, what the fuck happened?
Right.
Holy shit, man. But it is what it is. They'll probably still win the series anyway. But I'm happy that Kyrie Irving is also shining in these playoffs too. Because I know like his like name was getting a bad rep a couple years ago with the whole vaccine thing and like how his like run with Brooklyn went down. But like now he's like making a lot
Yeah.
of people eat their words, and it's a good thing to see.
I'm happy for Luka too.
Yeah, good shit. And I also heard Stephen A. Smith like didn't want to interview him like after that game on Saturday that they won, which is actually a very close one too. The way they won that game on Saturday, that shit was crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah, I guess like him and Stephen A. still have problems for like all their issues they were going through. But what if the Mavericks win the title and he has no choice but to interview him?
I doubt that, but I don't know. No offense to Dallas, though, but I have Minnesota winning this series, but we'll see what's going to happen. Anything could happen.
Yes, anything can happen in basketball and also in this crazy ass world of wrestling. And we're going to be seeing a lot more of it happen as time goes on. And until next time, for John Randall, this is Conscious Kurt with another edition of the Clash of the Champions. Take care. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. Have fun. Get fucked up, but not too fucked up. Enjoy yourself. And remember, most of all, don't be an asshole in real life or social media because that shit
It's
for
for
the
the birds, ladies and
birds.
gentlemen.
Yes, it is for the birds. Have a good one, guys. Go Knicks all day, every day.